All right, folks. Love them knives. LTK, time for batch time. And this is batch 39. Got some interesting knives in here. Some that are not as familiar as like Spyderco, Benchmade, and the old standbys. I don't really test those that much because that's going to be a big yawn. I'm sure they're true to their stated steel type. These do not include Rockwells. These include just the elemental analysis to verify what kind of blade steel they are. So, we've got 6, we've got 7. Actually, we have 8. We have a ghost knife in here. It's gone for the time being. And so I go, oh crap, I'm just going to go ahead with it anyhow. I'll show you the picture of the Midgards knife that we tested. And that'll go down in the books as well. So here's our list. And Amare Field Bro, okay. Cobratec over here. CRKT Trask. The Finch knives, the Cimarron, and the Holiday. The Midgards one, which is not shown. And Midnight Cat Studio, which is this Haas here, and the NOC DG11. So let's get started with the Amare Field Bro. And this was, this translucent jade was really nice, and it came up. It was a mass drop thing. Seemed like it took forever. I ordered 2 of them, so I know I got a second one floating around in here somewhere. But I really like this. And is it VG10? Is it really? Here we go with the elementals of your vanadium, chromium, all the others. And according to my metallurgy guy, yes, it's VG10. So it's the real deal. It's VG10. Next up, Cobratec. And this is interesting because, there's some other of these OTF knife companies, and I can't remember. When I do my Cobratec review, whenever that happens, I'm going to throw out the names of some of the others that are doing this kind of the same thing. Obviously, the knives, the parts are made in China. They may claim that they're made in USA, or they say assembled in USA. So this is assembled in the USA. I saw pictures of their assembly place, but it's basically Chinese manufactured parts. But, this is out of Texas, and traditionally their knives were that kind of zinc alloy handles that are really, really heavy. But, we tested a couple of them, and I can't remember what batch, so I'll put it down here. But we do have a previous test batch that we did where it included one of these Cobratec, and it was indeed D2. But I sent this in because these are aluminum. Okay, so this weighs about the same amount as the Benchmade Infidel, and this was like $160, so it's not $430. Okay, and the Infidel, of course, is D2 as well. So, is it really D2 now that we've tested this new model? And the answer is, yeah, it's really D2. So there you go. About 12% chromium, 11.28. The vanadium's 0.7, so that's not bad. And the other elements. So, yes, it's true to form. So if that's something that you were kind of curious about going, Cobratec. Now, the one thing that makes me more comfortable than a lot of the other import Chinese OTFs is I can send this back to Texas. I've looked it up and people have said, yeah, if I ever had issues, I send it back, and they took care of them. So even though they're not manufacturing them there, that's where they're being sold from, and that's where you can get service from. So I like it. I think their ace is up. So especially for the price, Next up, of course, is our CRKT. And I thought, oh, damn, I think I gave this away on my 23K giveaway. Well, somebody won it, but didn't claim it. So here's the Trask, and it's D2. It's an Eric Oakes design. And is it really D2? And yes, it is. Poor vanadium levels, very low. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's pretty low. I mean, sometimes D2 can be as high as 1% vanadium, and many times, like it was on that previous, on the Cobratec, was 0.7. This is 0.233. So that's pretty low vanadium, but all the rest of the stuff looks fine. But, so technically, yes. It's D2, and the test gun, which is programmed to detect it, says yes, it's D2. Next up is the Finch Cimarron, which is right here. Now, this, I sent 2 Finch knives in because this one's 14C28N, where the Holiday is 154 cm. So, 2 different types of steel. And what are the results? Here's the Cimarron, 14C28N. Yes, it is. Here's your elementals. 0.111 vanadium, because the Sandvik steel doesn't have very high vanadium. 13.82 chromium, so coming up on 14% chromium. So yes, it's a stainless, etc. And of course, the Holiday sitting here, 154 cm. And is it? And yes, it is. And here's your elementals. 0.237 vanadium, chromium coming up on 14%, manganese, etc., etc. So that is true to form. And the next one is the Ghost. Midgards Messer, the Dirk Hofmeister knife. And it's called the Bombur, Bombur, and it's $299. It's a D2 blade. It's only like 200 of them are made, so that kind of thing. And here's the information on that, but you can actually buy these on White Mountain Knives still. And so I sent it in to have it tested, and here she is laying along here. And yes, it's D2, and you can see the vanadium level is, well, it's a lot better than the Trask, that's for sure. 0.767. Chromium is just about 11%, which is kind of low for should be probably between 11 and 12, I imagine. And yeah, it's all good. It is D2, and of course their little PMI gun nailed it right down. Next, we got the Midnight Cat Studio, and you can unscrew this thing. This is easy to take off because I think that's kind of obnoxious. But this is the Mammoth by Midnight Cat Studio, and it is a monster. It really is. And it's got that Vanadis 4E blade, number 25. Okay, that's good. Wow, I don't even think you can get these anymore. You might look around. I'm not sure you can get them. There were only so many made, and that's the thing about Midnight Cat Studio and Max Ace. When they come out with these expensive, kind of crazy things, they only do so many. Well, let's see. Midnight Cat Studio Mammoth, Vanadis 4E. Yes, it is. And there's the vanadium, 4.26. Chromium, 4.66. Definitely not a stainless steel. Okay. And manganese, moly, and that's all, folks. But yeah, that's the real deal. That should be, it'd be interesting to have a Rockwell on that, and whenever I get some time, I'd like to shoot that off and get a Rockwell on it. Might be interesting. And next, of course, is the NOC DG11, which is this crazy thing. It comes with Monroe struts, so that gives you a smooth ride. I don't get it. Whatever. But I thought it was fascinating, and I think it was a rocking $75, something like that. I bought it on Amazon, I believe. And 440C, nothing fancy as far as the steel goes, just kind of a G10 with this overlay of carbon fiber. But I kind of like the white there on that. I thought it has that kind of presence to it. And it's a big dog. It's a big dog, all right. Now, let's see if it's 440. And the answer is no, it's not 440. It's 8CR14 MOV. Now, I didn't, print out the elementals of 440 versus, but the chromium is too low for 440 because 440 I think is around 16%. It's pretty high chromium level. So there's your vanadium, the chromium's off, there's your manganese, etc. And then I was trying to figure out, is this a bad thing or a good thing? And maybe this was a mix-up that they did, but oh well. On the NOC knives that were high-end steel, they always test it out. So this is an 8CR14, which I think I'm just as well off with it, maybe better than a 440. It's kind of like the devil in the deep blue sea. I don't think there's maybe a dime's worth of difference in all that, so to heck with it. All right, that's batch 39, so we kind of survived through that pretty well. I've got batch 40 rolling around here, and I'm going to pull that because that should be interesting. We got some really interesting knives in that batch, so that ought to be fun. We got some Free Tiger knives and some Tassie Tiger and something else. It's crazy. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.